Hello, everyone. So here it is, me again. Once again, so what you see is what you get, just so you know. I know that you have professional videographers out there doing all kinds of wonderful things, and they all look cute and fancy and snap their fingers. No, what you see is what you get. I am me. I'm authentic, period. Okay. So what we're going to talk about today is evolution to becoming Buddha, Tesla, and Jesus. All right. Evolution to becoming Buddha, Tesla, and Jesus. And there are two reasons why I'm talking about this. First is the natural path that you need to take in your existence to evolve. Okay. I guess three reasons. The first is the natural path that you should take to evolve. The second is realizing that you can evolve and that you should evolve. You have the capacity to evolve and not just sit where you are down in the primordial swamp. Okay. You can evolve. You can evolve to Buddha and Tesla and Jesus level. Okay. The third reason, which often comes up, believe me, it does for someone like me, is the fact that people say, what makes you think if you're so special? What makes you think that you are, what do we call it, the chosen one, or a gifted leader, or the spiritual leader? What makes you think, how can it be that you are the level of Buddha and Tesla and everything else? All right. So I'm going to address all those three categories in the same basic framework. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about this. Do you believe in Buddha and what he did? Do you believe that Nikola Tesla existed and was able to do what he did? Do you believe in Leonardo da Vinci existed as a human and was able to accomplish the things he did? All right. And then further back, go to people like Hermes Trismegistus and Enoch and other great evolved men, spiritual leaders, and metaphysical embodiments. Okay. So first of all, they were human as they walked this earth. Yet they were able to accomplish those things. So if each of those persons were actual humans that did physically walk the earth, then it is possible for other humans to evolve to that level and accomplish similar things, right? It's not like we ended with Enoch and that was it. Boom, end of story. There have been other great men who accomplished great things. So to say we just stopped 10,000 years ago is stupid, right? That's really a stupid idea. So if you believe that Leonardo da Vinci existed, that Buddha existed, that Tesla existed, then why can you not believe that other humans existed who have similar abilities? Right? Logic. Makes sense, right? All right. So I am one of those humans. All right. It's not really a far-fetched concept to say that there are humans that have existed who have evolved to this level throughout history. And history keeps going. And different humans come to Earth. And therefore, we can have other humans who are at the same level and who have those same abilities or similar abilities. It's not a stretch of logic, really. It really isn't a stretch of logic to see that it did just end 10,000 years ago with one person with one ability, and that was it. All right, it does go on. All right, so there you go. So I happen to be one of those that has evolved to the levels of Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, Buddha, and Enoch, and other people. All right, so it's not that far-fetched, really. It really isn't that far-fetched to consider. Now, the only reason it seems difficult to comprehend is because most people are still in the primordial swamps. Most people are completely low level. I know some people are going to say that's condescending. Why is that condescending? That's like saying this person is still in the first grade. That's not condescending, it's just a fact. Person's still in the first grade. He'll go through school and go graduate high school and then to university, and he can get a PhD and get a PhD in science and become a professor at MIT, right? Possible, easy, with work. But right now he's in the first grade. So it's not condescending for a professor at MIT to say that this person is still in the first grade, because this person is a professor at MIT, and this person over here is in the first grade. There's nothing condescending about that. There's nothing egotistical about that. There's nothing arrogant about that. It's just fact, right? The professors of PhD, they don't look at the first grade and say, oh, well, that's the only level he'll ever be in. We just might as well just stop doing things because he'll never go up. No professor at MIT would ever say that. Say, okay, you're in the first grade now. If you're wanting to learn more, if you're wanting to be more like me, I'm here. I can teach you whatever level you're at. But if you want to be up here with me, you can do it. Just understand you're in the first grade right now. That's all. Doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you can't do it today. You got to evolve. You got to grow. You got to learn. Okay? So let's get this out of the way, that a professor from a PhD, professor PhD, MIT, right? Telling someone he's in the first grade. That's not condescending. That's not arrogance. It's really not delusional. You can see the guy's a professor, right? You can see his you can see his degrees. You can see his research. You can talk to him and see his intellect. I mean, it's not. You can see that. It's there. It's provable. It's there. Meanwhile, the first grader is not going to talk like a PhD. He's not going to compare with the MIT person, right? It just can't. So this whole idea of the fact that a person cannot be a professor at MIT just because you're in the first grade is nonsense, ridiculous. Of course, there have been professors at MIT for many years, and there will continue to be professors at MIT for many years. Not everyone's going to be a professor at MIT, but there will be future ones in another 20 years and 40 years and 100 years. It'll keep going. Although the same thing with people like Enoch and Buddha and Tesla and Da Vinci and all this other. They didn't stop there. There's always people coming along. They just happen to go that route and be at that level. Okay, so let's get this out of the way, completely out of the way. Just get it out of the way completely, that when I say that I'm at the level of Tesla and Buddha and Da Vinci and Enoch, that, that's condescending to other people or that's arrogant to me. It's not. It's fact. Absolute, undeniable, provable fact. Easy to show, easy to demonstrate. It just is, right? And again, it's not condescending. It's not arrogance for me to say what I am. It would be ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous for a professor at MIT to say that, oh, I'm just a humble guy, like a 7th grader in middle school, and I only know middle school science. That'd be ridiculous. He worked hard for his PhD. He studied a lot. He grew a lot. He knows a lot. Why would he want to degrade himself and demean himself by comparing himself to someone at a lower level? That makes no sense. Why? So it's not arrogance to state the level that you're at. It's not arrogance to say, this is my level because this is the level I've reached. right? It's not. It's fact. It's absolute fact, right? Now, another part of that is because in this day and age, we have so far gone off the rails. I mean, up to 1965, from let's say 1500 to 1965, we had a really good run of Western civilization. Really, really good run. We had a lot of smart people. And even the average high school student in 1950 would be considered a genius, today's standards. We've gone so far off the cliff. I mean, good 80% of humans today are 80% of humans today are much lower intelligence, lower IQ than people were 20,000 years ago. They're like the people at the beginning of Space Odyssey 2001 with the bone smashing each other. That's what most people are today. So if you're at that level, bone smashing, and you got over here a guy who's professor at MIT, I mean, of course he's more evolved than you. Of course he's smarter than you. So we've even gone further down the cliff. So not only is it the case of someone like Nikola Tesla or Einstein, when the rest of the world was actually pretty darn intelligent. No, we're talking even Leave It to Beaver show is Einstein compared to what people are today. Okay, so there's that going on as well. So take care of that. One moment, please. Okay, now let's get to the point of evolution. You evolving to be Buddha and Tesla and Leonardo da Vinci and even Jesus. Okay, you can become that. You may think it's arrogant for someone to say that they're like Leonardo da Vinci just because you are not there. And you can't imagine being there. Well, that's because of society, right? That's because of society and other things. But you can be there. It's not going to come this week. Not even going to come in this lifetime. It's going to take multiple lifetimes. But you can do it, right? Think of life as a university. And every time you come to this life, you are going to a university for a different set of experiences in a different degree. If you're wise, you'll spend that time at the university learning, exploring. But if you're stupid, you'll just be going partying, right? Hey, party! You didn't learn anything, did you? You didn't evolve. You didn't grow spiritually. You didn't grow intellectually. So when you come back to the university again, you'll start over. Hey, party! And you come back and do it again. Hey, party! And come back and do it again. So it's your fault. It's your fault for not evolving at the University of Life. Okay. Don't call someone arrogant for putting in the work. All right. We put in the work. We put in, a person who gets a PhD and gets to MIT, put in the work. Someone who reaches the level of Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, and Buddha, they put in the work. Okay. So don't call them arrogant when in fact they put in the work and I put in the work. But you can do it too. You can reach the level of Leonardo da Vinci, Enoch, Tesla, and others. You can do that. You just have to go for it. You have to try, you have to evolve, which means you have to explore, experience. You've got to pursue intellectual depth. You've got to pursue objectivity. You've got to grow your soul. You've got to become a much kinder, more loving human being. You've got to become more benevolent, more generous, more compassionate. You have to start putting yourself, you have to start serving others in addition to serving yourself. You have to start being able to explore and really look at things, experience things. You've got to let experiences come into your soul. You've got to pursue everything you should pursue should also be pursued, not just on the physical pleasure level, but also on the intellectual level, the spiritual level, the soul level. It's got to be done on all these different levels at the same time. And you got to do this throughout your lifetime. And if you do that, you will evolve and grow to the next level. And you keep doing this. Keep putting in the work. Keep putting in the work. Keep putting in the work. Evolve your soul. Evolve your mind. Become a much more kinder, loving, generous human being. Instead of taking from others, look at relationships where we can build things together. And instead of just life being about money and Lamborghinis, think about developing your soul and your intellect. Think about developing your skills to access the metaphysical world around you that is not seen with the two eyes, but seen within the detectors that are actually located inside your body. Those detectors do exist, by the way. You just don't know how to turn them on. So this is what people like Buddha and Jesus were trying to tell you. Christians get this wrong. It's not just worshiping Jesus, as in bowing down to Jesus. It's worshiping what he stands for. Not Jesus the man, but Jesus the messenger. Is to become like Jesus, to become like Leonardo da Vinci, to become like Tesla, to become like Martin Luther King Jr. Do you see what I'm saying? You can become those things. You have the ability and the power to become a better human being, a better soul. You have the ability to find peace in your soul instead of conquering others, loving others. And I guarantee you, the moment you start loving other people, you will feel much happier. You will feel much happier loving other people than you will conquering them. Being service-oriented. In modern society, people think being service-oriented makes you weak and beta and insecure and inferior and, oh, a loser. No. Being service to others is the highest level. Being service to others is highest level. Instead of thinking about yourself only and all the time, be service to others. Now, that doesn't mean you don't take care of yourself, because obviously we're here to enjoy our own lives. You are the driver. You are the driver of your own life. But my goodness, do not make, with any types of community or relationship, do not make yourself the dictator. Do not try to make everyone else serve you, pay for your lifestyle, bow down to you. Who do you think you are? No. What you want to do is serve others, give to others, love others. And in return, they are supposed to love you, serve you, give to you. This is what people like Jesus and Buddha were trying to say. And that is how you can become like them. And as you pursue this love path, you will find yourself thinking in different ways. Your soul will act in different ways. Okay? This in turn will lead to metaphysical opening, metaphysical channel opening. And then you will start to see there are angels over there. Oh, look at that. There's an angel right there sitting in my room, standing right over there in the corner. Undulating violet silver wings. You can see it. It's right there. Because you've opened up your love. Because you've chosen to do the work to evolve yourself. Okay? Intellectually, look, most people are only using like 1% of their brain, if that. You have so much more. You have so much more inside of you. It's like you're living in a mansion with 100 rooms and you're only using 2. My goodness, there's so much more you can do. It's in there. You're just not turning it on. You're just not using it. So it's easy to be a genius when everyone else is just not even thinking. I mean, really, just turn it on. Turn on each of the programs in your mind. Let them start working. Let the brain factory go. And once you start doing that, you'll start realizing, wow, I didn't know this, and I didn't know this. Oh, wow, this situation makes more sense. Oh my gosh, I see so much more. Wow. You can evolve. You can evolve your soul. You can evolve your love. You can evolve spiritually. You can evolve intellectually. Okay? This is what you need to do. And this is what you can do. This is what you should do. This is what you must do. This is what you must do. Okay? You can become the level of Buddha. You can become the level of Leonardo da Vinci. You can become the level of Nikola Tesla. You can become the level of Jesus. It's not going to come this week or this year. It's going to take, in fact, lifetimes, multiple lifetimes. But remember the university. You can't just go to the university, each university of life, and go, party, party, party. You'll come back around again to level 0. What good does that do? So, it's a lot of messages in this. They're Venn diagram similarities. That's why I want to put this together. So we begin with the fact that you can become higher level of Enoch, Tesla, Buddha, anybody want to name, Jesus. It is also normal, in a way, for there to be humans throughout history and today who are at that level. There's only a few in each generation because, frankly, most people don't put in the work. Most people don't put in the work in their previous lifetimes. So, can't blame us. But yeah, so anybody that says it's delusional or arrogant to say that you're the level of Buddha or Tesla does not understand how this works. Again, it's like saying the professor at MIT is delusional arrogant simply because he says factually, I've learned a lot. I've worked my way through school. I've done a lot of experiments. I've done a lot of work. I passed all those tests. Don't forget all those things I studied for and passed. It took a lot of work. It wasn't easy, but I got my PhD and I'm working at MIT now. It's not delusional. It's not arrogant. He put in the work. Put in the work. But he grew and evolved to that stage. Same thing. You, as a first grader, you can be at MIT if you want to. There's no one stopping you. You can be at MIT if you want to, but just remember, in the first grade right now. Okay? The smart thing to do would be to look up to the professor at MIT instead of calling him arrogant or delusional. If you want to become that, the wise thing to do would be to say, how can I do that? How can I get there? And believe me, people at that level are very, very happy to tell you everything they know. They want to be mentors. Believe me, they want to mentor you. I want to mentor you. You see what I'm saying? I want to mentor you. I want to teach you if you're ready to be taught. So, covered a lot of stuff there, but yes. You too can evolve. You too can evolve. And I'm not arrogant or delusional for saying that I'm at this level. I'm putting the work. I put in the work. You can too. And I'd be happy to mentor you. If you're smart enough, it doesn't mean you're knowledgeable about everything, but if you're smart enough intrinsically, you should know what you don't know. And you should know that those of us who have reached this level have put in the work, and we want to teach you and want to mentor you. You should be smart enough to realize that what we offer to you is helping you to evolve. Am I making any sense here? Am I making any sense here? Indeed, it's the opposite of being condescending. It's the opposite of being arrogant. If I were condescending and arrogant, I would say, you're a stupid fool. You'll never be amount to anything. Just shut up and don't bother me. No, what I'm saying is you too can come this way. And I am willing to be your mentor, teacher, and guide, but only if you truly want it, and only if you're willing to put in the work. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then nothing I can do to help you. You can just come around to the next Lifetime University and party again. But if that did make any sense to you, then yeah. You evolve. There are mentors. We're ready for you. Are you ready for us? I think that covers it. Gosh, it takes so long to do this.